Hey AP students, today I want to go back to our first review question and go over the answer and what the College Board would be looking for when you did an FRQ over a question like this. The difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is seen in the organization of the genetic material. Discuss the organization of the genetic material in prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And the College Board would have been looking for at least 4 different things that you needed to come up with to get the full points for an FRQ like this. Remember, when you would answer this question, it would not be in list form, it would be in sentence or paragraph form, but I will answer it in list form for the sake of time. And it really incorporates everything we've learned over the course of the year on the differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Remember, prokaryotes are bacteria, the bacterial kingdoms. Eukaryotes would be plants, animals, protists, and fungi. And the main difference being prokaryotes do not have any membrane-bound organelles, and eukaryotes do. But the problem focused on genetic material, and you can see the first answer is up there already. Prokaryotes do not have introns, eukaryotes do have introns. And remember, this we mentioned this really briefly when we did the DNA code unit at the end of the first semester, in that prokaryotes, they have that one circular chromosome, which we'll get to here in a second, and they can turn that genetic material into proteins, whereas eukaryotes have to go through post-transcriptional processing to get rid of the introns. And remember, just as a little review, the spliceosomes do that, where they get rid of the introns and leave the exons behind, put a poly A tail and a methylated cap on that transcript so it can be turned into protein using the tRNA. Second, is prokaryotes have DNA in their nucleoid region, whereas eukaryotes house DNA in a nucleus. So remember, prokaryotes still have membrane-bound organelles. They have a nucleoid region instead. Eukaryotes have a nucleus which would house the DNA, and that's the second point they would be looking for. The third point is prokaryotes do not have histones, and eukaryotes do. Histones are very much what holds the genetic material together in the nucleus. They're little proteins. They look like little balls, and they would keep the chromosomes organized in their linear form inside the nucleus. Prokaryotes don't have a nucleus, and they have that circular chromosome, so they don't have histone proteins. And speaking of chromosomes, remember that prokaryotes only have one, whereas eukaryotes have multiple, and those are linear. So prokaryotes have one circular chromosome in the nucleoid region, and eukaryotes have multiple linear chromosomes in the nucleus. And remember, we humans have 46 of those chromosomes housed in our nucleus. And then finally, prokaryotes have plasmids, and eukaryotes have no plasmids. And remember, the plasmid is a much smaller piece, circular piece of DNA that can be incorporated into the main chromosome by a bacterium using restriction enzymes. We talked about how bacteria can pass on plasmids from one bacterium to the next in dealing with antibiotic resistance. Eukaryotes do not have the ability to make plasmids. So, again, the College Board was looking for 4 out of the 5 to get the full points, and you would have written that in sentence/paragraph form when answering an FRQ question like this. Hope that helps you out a lot. I'll talk to you guys later.